Oh, sorry for the delay. Welcome back to MNR for round 3 for the Russian Grand Prix here today. And yeah, looks like we've already got some validations because no one set a lap time in these 4 minutes of qualifying. So it looks like some people are struggling with their times, but we've finally got a time on the board after what? 4 minutes and 5 seconds. So Carlos has set a lap time of 1:31.6 in his Alfa Romeo, and I'll get all the information on for you. And yeah, finally could settle in after that slight delay. So as you can see, NUF1 and AJ on the medium tyres, Young Stinson on the medium tyres. He set a 32.1. We're on board with the Renault on Civics, coming towards the end of sector 2. 131.0 from Duel, so him in the racing point showing some good pace like he did last week. Let's hope he continue the momentum because his teammate is now Puppy. And it was Total P's, but I don't know what happened to Total P's. So I don't know if he's doing something or left, I don't know. But anyways, he's got a new teammate, which is Puppy. As Civic goes 3rd place with a 1:31.7. He's a 10th away from Carlos on those soft tyres. So a couple on the mediums, a couple on the softs. But the strategy is soft and medium, which you can tell people are doing some bankers earlier on in qualifying. So the main times will be settling towards like 2 or 3 minute mark. So we're in the early parts of qualifiers, so I don't expect some good lap times pumping in at the moment, but we'll find someone that's on their lap time and can demonstrate to us how to take it around the Russian Grand Prix then, because it's a difficult track, especially with these validations, as Puppy's proved to us already, because he's already got a validation and he's on the medium tyres. I think he's doing his 2nd run, as Jonathan Cox has gone quickest with a 1:30.6, so good lap time from him. 4 tenths up on the racing point in 2nd place, so Jonathan Cox showing good pace already. Hello to Young Lights in the chat. We've gone board with KLC, but in the AlphaTauri he's a validator's lap time on the soft compound tyres, so he's coming to the pits at the end of this lap because he's barely got any fuel left. And someone's moved a position. I think it's Civics who's gone up into 4th place. Original Civi up into 6th place. For a minute there, I thought I saw a bit of rain, but it was a bit yeah. It was a reflection off one of those buildings that caught me out. So Young Stinson then on his 2nd lap time on the same set of medium tyres. He locks up coming into turn 2 as we head now into turn 3. The long right-hander into turn 4. You want to keep to the left as much as possible, get close to the curb as much as possible, which he doesn't do as we come down into turn 5 then. Take a lot of curb on the entry. And the sector 1 is a 33.1, 2 tenths up already. He's locking up again, so Young Stinson then hard on the brakes as he brakes late into each corner. Another one of those corners, take a lot of curb on the exit and on the entry as well. Same with this one. It's kind of a reflection of the last corner as we come into the end of sector 2 then. There's a lot of curb on the entry here, and he locks up again, so he's having a few locking up issues. I know Stinson ran no ABS last year, or last game, so I don't know why he keeps locking up, depending what brake pressure, or depending how late he is on the brakes. If we come into a heavy braking zone at the end of sector 2, 3 tenths up in the middle sector, so this is a course for a good lap time, and this one we'll put with the 1:31s then. I think he might get into, I think he'll be the highest, he is the highest medium runner so far. He's on a 2nd lap, so is Original Civi just right behind him. He's in front of us as he heads into the pit lane. Coming to the penultimate corner then, Stinson hooks it up nicely as we come to the final corner. Decent exit, 1:31.7, and he goes up into 5th place. Well, he stays in 5th place, but just a few hundreds behind Civics. So good lap time for the Mercedes man, who's on his 3rd lap time on those medium tyres then. NH44, I think he's on a lap time, I think he is, so we'll continue on board with him. Coming to these tricky corners, those curves could push you out wide and can make you lose the rear end, but he's invalidated it, so we can't progress further with him as he might head back into the pits, which he does. Tristan then a 33.5 to the 1st sector then. We'll keep on board with him. We've got a car ahead of us. I can't quite tell which one it is. I think it's an AlphaTauri, that's KLC in the way, and KLC's on its outlap, so we should get out of the way of Tristan. And I believe Tristan's on his, he's on his 2nd lap? Yeah, he's on his 2nd lap then, so that explains the ERS situation he has, which is quite low, as KLC gets nicely out of the way for Tristan. In this 2nd DRS zone then, headed towards a heavy braking zone at the end of sector 2. We've got yellow flags, but that's I think that's someone slowing down. I don't think they made a mistake, and it's one of the Renaults. And I think, yeah, both Renaults on their outlap, so there's no reason for them to cause an incident which caused a yellow flag. So I think it's just them slowing down, just in a little bit of a mistake to that second part of the corner. As we come to the penultimate corner, is this turn 15? I don't really know the corner names around here, or the corner numbers. Just around the final corner, so 33.2 from the Ferrari man as he heads up into 9th place. So he's done 2 laps on those soft tyres, so he's got more potential to show there towards the end of qualifying. Then interesting from him. So oh, he's invalidated it. As Ryder goes quickest with a 130.2. So Redbo, still one of those drivers that's not set a lap time yet. What about KLC? We saw KLC in his out lap, he's on his flying lap now, so let's see what he does in the AlphaTauri. I know this guy's got some decent pace on him, and let's see what he could do in the AlphaTauri. By the way, I do have some mic problems, so if you can end the race, if I start lagging out, please tell me, because yeah. And now we've got 8 minutes towards the end of qualifying. Let me just check the sound, because I know I've got some mic issues. Just bear with me for a few seconds. Checking if I can hear myself on the stream, because I know my mic has a few issues, so that needs sorted as soon as possible. Jonathan Cox said, grounds the final corner, what's it going to be? A 30... oh, it was going to be a 30.3, but he's just invalidated it, and that will put him into 2nd place along with Dewell. So, that must be really frustrating, all that hard work for it to get ruined at the end of the lap. Literally at the end of the lap. So, he has to go again. I think he's got plenty of time to go again, but has he got enough tyres? Like, has he used all of his tyres? I wonder. Came out very early to do his... is his 2nd run or 3rd? I think I've seen him on the track quite a lot. Dewell, he's not on a lap. I think he's done his lap. He's on his in lap. So what about NUF1? He's also invalidated it. Stinson's in the pits. Do you know what? Something tells me that Stinson's having troubles here. I know he's a quick driver, a very quick driver. I wonder if he's just, I don't know. I've seen a different Stinson this season, and I don't know if he's having troubles. So we're all in the pits except Rembo. Rembo's not in the pits, so we're going on board with him. There he is. In fact, he's just invalidated it. So we went on board with him at the very worst moment. So who are heading to the pits aggressively, and he missed the pits. So he's not happy, as we can clearly tell. I've seen the Ferrari out of the track, and that's Carlos. So I wonder, is Carlos on the lap? Go on board with Ryder because he's just got quickest in the first sector. So Ryder's looking absolutely on form here, like he was in the last race. He's the last week's race winner. Can he do it again? Because he looks brilliant on form. Where's his teammate Ferg? His teammate's not here, so we're missing Ferg and we're missing Pease. I don't know where they are. So I hope to see him back in again. So if Ryder then comes towards the end of the last sector, 2/10 up like he was in the first sector, so he's continuing his performance. And let's see what he can do throughout the third sector. Can he go any quicker? There's green flags in that area, so I wonder if someone's... Never mind, there's no one ahead of him. It's just further behind there's yellow flags. So he will not be affected by it. Don't know who's causing them. I think the two guys behind. As he comes to the line, can he get in 29s? Yes, he can. It's a 29.9 for Ryder. He hooked that lap up beautifully and perfectly as well. So Ryder is in first place with a 129.9. Can anybody beat him? I wonder. What about Carlos? And we saw he's on the track. 31.1. I think he's just crossed the line to improve his time. He said 4/10 up as we see the cars coming out the pits then for their last runs. KLC is out the pits as well. AJ. What about Stinson? Hope Stinson's okay because he doesn't look like... His best time was in the mediums, wasn't it? Oh yeah, it was on the mediums, so we'll wait to see what Stinson can do then. 3 laps on the medium tyres, just exploring the track to see what the grip levels are like. How he can push the car into each corner. So we've got the guys on their out laps then. Tristan is on a lap, I think. He's done a 32.9. I think he's on an in lap or on an actual flying lap going through it again. So he must have put plenty of fuel in the car then to keep going. And he's got some traffic ahead of him. He's got about 3-4 cars ahead of him. So hopefully they get out of the way, or they're fast enough so they don't block. Oh, something's happened there. I wonder if something happened there because I saw on the mini-map a car just stopped dead in the middle of the track. I wonder if he's just letting the guy through. So no harm done then. So both Mercedes then in 8th and 9th, and Stinson's on the soft compound tyre. His one and only last chance to do something about it. If he doesn't improve, he'll start on those mediums unless someone pushes him outside the top 10. AJ then, he's on a lap. We've not seen AJ, so we're going to go on board with him as he heads down into turn 2. Break the 100 metre board, take a lot of the curb on the entry and the exit, get on the power to turn 3. As we come through turn 4, then take it to the tightest line as possible. Not too much though, because we've validated it. As we come through turn 5, then swing to the right, on the curb, on the power. He's validated it. Poor AJ, that's his lap time done. Most common place to invalidate it, and AJ will not continue then in this qualifying session. He will start 10th or below, depends if someone knocks him out of the top 10. Toonfan's on a lap, he's right behind him. He's heading through turn 5 as well. Almost invalidated it a bit wider, he'll invalidate. Stinson then, on a lap time. I want to go on board with Stinson because I know he's a main competitor. Jonathan Cox, is he on a lap? Yes, he is on a lap, but he's further behind Stinson. No, he's not, he's ahead of Stinson, so we'll go on board with Jonathan Cox then. What about Dewell? Where's Dewell? He's invalidated it and off the track. So then, Jonathan Cox, can he improve to the first sector? Yes, he can. Only slightly though, but there's plenty of time to be found through the course of the lap. We're coming through the most difficult parts of the track where it's so easy to invalidate. The track's so open, but yet the penalty system is so harsh because if you get it wrong, you get it wrong, invalidate it. And he's invalidated it. So he will start in 4th place, but Young Lights has gone up into 3rd place, so Young Lights is doing a good job. In fact, he's on his lap, isn't he? Well, I think he is anyways. Go back on board with young Stinson. What can young Stinson do? The Dutchman on the flying lap. Can he improve? Can he get pole? Can he get top 3? Let's see what his middle sector is like. He's 8/10 up to the middle sector, and this will put him in the 30s. He's had a massive, well not a massive, but a slight lock up through there in the heavy braking zone. So let's see what Stinson can do in the remainder of the lap. AJ's retired. AJ's been pushed out of the top 10, so he has a choice to start on what tyres he wants. So does Stinson, unless he improves, which he is going to be because he's in 11th place. Where can he go? Can Stinson take pole? I don't think so, but he can get inside the top 3. Yes, he does. It's a 30.2 from Stinson, and he joins the front row with Ryder. Duels invalidated at Young Lights. He's on a lap, isn't he? We'll continue with him. Across the line goes the Renault. Where can the Renault go? Stays in his position. What about the Mercedes? I think his Mercedes has gone in the pits. So let's see what Young Lights can do then. Is he the only man that can improve his lap time? He's the only man out on track. Not the only man on the track, but the only one that's going to complete their flying lap time. Comes through the penultimate corner, takes a lot of curb on the edge. He's invalidated it. And where could he have gone? A 30.4. He would have stayed in 4th place. So Young Lights on the 2nd row with Do Will then. That is qualifying done. And we move on for the race. And just bear with me again to check my mic if it's working. So the Jamaican driver in 1st place ahead of young Stinson. Duel the Frenchman in 3rd place ahead of Young Lights. Jonathan Cox 5th place ahead of Civics. Carlos in 7th place ahead of KLC. NUF1 in 9th place ahead of B Rabbit. Rentspo in 11th ahead of AJ. LH44 in 13th ahead of Toonfan. Original Civi in 15th ahead of Tristan. Puppy in 17th ahead of Liam. Liam's the last man. Liam did not set a lap time for some reason. I don't know if he invalidated all of his runs, but anyways, it is what it is. Obviously, it's going to be a tough race with all the corner cuttings that's going to go on, and it's hard to overtake. So I wonder how the drivers will cope. Will they abuse the ERS button to try and get past their rivals? Will they save ERS and wait for the crucial moment? How many safety cars will be in this race? So many questions to ask. We're about to find out. I know Russia's not really a good track for racing, but let's see what it can provide for us today. Red Line Racing Community. RRC MNR. Come on, you Jamaican. You talking to Ryder or to me? I'm not Jamaican. Ryder making his Jamaican friends proud. Let's see what JJ can do. He's got Duel, he's got young Stinson to deal with. Jonathan Cox can be a threat as well. Young Lights is a threat. So let's see what those drivers can do. Can't wait to see how the battles form. I hope it's not a boring race. And there's the predicted pit stop strategy then. So Swan stop, lap 11 to 14. I couldn't really see that because it disappeared quite quickly. So Ryder does not have a teammate, and Stinson has a teammate that's down in 9th place. Not really what I want to be, because doesn't have a rear gunner to protect him or hold people up. Duel's a Lone Ranger as well, because Puppy's down in 17th place. Young Lights, his teammates down in 13th place. Civics, his teammates down half the places where he is. So then we've got one racing point at the top, one racing point down in 17th place. So Duel doesn't have his teammate for help. And one stop, lap 10. If you want to go on the hards, pit lap 10. If you want to go on the mediums, pit lap 11 to 14. So the pit stop window is lap 11. People will start to pit then or before, or depends if a safety car comes out and changes the strategy around a bit. If the safety car comes out early parts of the race, I don't think people will pit unless they will go on the hard tyres. I know the mediums can make it a long way in this race, but the soft tyres will make it about 11-12 laps until they fully wear out. Only 3 drivers has opted to go on the medium compound tyres. I thought more drivers would go for them tyres considering where they are, but they're on the softs, so let's see how they plan out then. Waiting for the lights because everybody's lined up on the track. Alright then, so we'll wait for the lights and let's see who has a better start heading down into turn 2. Stinson versus Ryder, then there are the lights. 3, 4, 5. Away we go then for round 3 of the Russian Grand Prix. Who gets a better start off the line? I think it's Stinson. Stinson has jumped Ryder, but they're side by side into turn 1. Now we head down the long straight, ready for turn 2 then. McLaren in the background lurking, and they make it 3 wide. It's 3 wide. Young Lights will go down the inside. 3 wide is not really good around here as there's contact already been made. There's 2-3 cars off the track already as we go through turn 4 then. Ryder versus Stinson then, but look at the Williams. Jonathan Cox started down in 15th place. He's made his way through 2nd place. Young Lights off the track there. We go 3 wide, and that was never going to end well. It's like Roman Grosjean, Daniel Ricciardo stuff. As Young Lights has spun, and he's in the back as Ryder versus Jonathan Cox. Jonathan Cox started down in 5th place. He's already up into 1st. Well, that was an amazing start from Jonathan Cox then. Placed his car in the right positions then. So Jonathan Cox leads ahead of Ryder. Carlos in 3rd place. Carlos as well had an amazing start. Young Stinson's dropped 2 places. B Rabbit is in 5th place. He started down in 10th, didn't he? If I remember correctly, so that was an interesting start of the race then. But yeah, you should never go 3 wide at the lights of Russia. That was a bit over ambitious from Young Lights. He's already overtaken Tristan then, so Tristan's had a bit of a spin because he's all the way down in 18th place. And down the inside goes AJ. He makes contact with KRC. He loses out to Duwell and to his teammates. So AJ did not make the move stick. He understeered into the AlphaTauri there of KRC. KRC remains in 6th place unharmed, but AJ suffering with understeer. I think he's got a bit of a wind damage, or that dirty air is not really helping him whatsoever. So we've only got 1 pit stop, and that is NUF1. As Original Civi's ghosted. I don't think he's left the session, has he? I don't think he's left. So back on board with the main guys then. Young Stinson's not close enough to make an overtake down into turn 2. Locks up in the process, but Carlos stays in 2nd place. Is he in 2nd? I don't know what's going on. Well, a bit weird what's going on right now. We're on lap 2. This is the glitch that this is the glitch that needs to sort out because this is absolutely confusing. And look at Young Stinson there, took the opportunity to go down the inside of the place you don't see. Oh, Jonathan Cox smashed it in the wall. Jonathan Cox has binned it, and he is out of this race, and the safety car has now been deployed. Jonathan Cox probably picked up too much throttle that the car would allow it. The rears will not allow it that. Tank slap on the exit, locked up, spin up the rears, and into the wall he went. He's just got to be so careful in the early parts of the race, you know. And Jonathan Cox, you know, always been unlucky. Young Lights up into 15th place. Well, that was a shame to see from Jonathan Cox then. So, Ryder's leading ahead of Young Stinson. Carlos is in 3rd place. Where did he start? Who's the biggest losers and the winners here? So Carlos, he started in 7th place. B Rabbit started down in 10th place. He's up into 4th place already. Riders in the pits. KLC started in 8th place. Double's lost 3 places. He's gained 1 now. Whoa, I don't know what's going on. So B Rabbit stayed out there. What about the medium runners? They all stay out there, obviously. I don't want to think they're going to go on the soft tyres and do a 2-stop. LH44 would move up into 4th place then. So B Rabbit is your new race leader of this Russian Grand Prix, already on lap 3. 2 fans on the hard, Young Lights on the medium tyres. Yep, Jonathan Cox pretty much. What the hell? B Rabbit's been disqualified for ignoring yellow flags. And this is genuine because his car's pulling to the side. Or is it genuine? He's been disqualified. What? How? He's just overtaken the safety car. He's been disqualified. Well, our race leader has been disqualified from the session then, and he is out of the Russian Grand Prix. Well, that was an interesting one. KLC is our new race leader. Too much throttle. Car doesn't allow bumps around here. Yeah, I understand. You shouldn't. I think you should be careful with the throttle input you were taking in there because the car just didn't like it. Is that both Williams out of the race? It is, isn't it? Both Williams are out of this race and they will not be scoring any points. They had an opportunity to score big points here tonight, but they blew it. Johnson binned it in the wall and B Rabbit been disqualified, so both Williams are out of this Grand Prix. And they will be scoring any points for the constructors. Crucial points for them, but they haven't got any points, so Jono and B Rabbit are out of this Grand Prix. Unfortunately, I would love to see them in the Grand Prix because I know they provide some good action. That was a shame to see really, but KLC is our new race leader. He has not stopped. Neither has LH44. It says 0 lap hole tyres, but I believe that's just a glitch. Civi's not pitted, so hasn't Renbo. Tristan's pitted, or has he? Nope, he's not pitted. Ryder's pitted, so 7th downwards is pitted. The top 6 have not pitted in this race. So many bugs in this game, it's unbelievable, especially on lap 2. Always. There are so many bugs in this game that need sorting out. Because it gets so confusing where people are. On board with KLC then, well, was on board with him, he just flickered off him. So, he'll be going for the normal strategy then, he'll be pitting in lap 11 and 12 thanks to the safety car period. And Liam's in the pits again, so one AlphaTauri leading, the other one's at the back of the field. He's on the hard tyres. So he'll go to the end on that set of tyres. So the top 2, well the top 6 shall I say, will go for the normal strategy. 7th downwards I don't think has to pit, but Young Stinson has pitted onto the medium tyres. I think he might have to pit again. I know it'll be risky though. I think those tyres can go to the end, but they'll be worn out quite significantly for his strategy because he'll be falling off the cliff with his tyres and be dropping down the order if he doesn't be careful. So he's going to be conserving a lot with his tyres, or he might be pushing, or might be thinking of another safety car because safety cars are 100% going to come out in this race. Might give B Rabbit a little message, see what happened, because that was just I don't know if they, I don't know what he was thinking. He knew the safety car was coming out and there, but I don't know what happened. So let me just give him a message and see what happened to him, B Rabbit. That's a shame to see really, because big points could be scored at Williams tonight, but they blew the opportunity. So the remaining drivers are 16. We'll go through this first safety car restart and let's see what happens in this race safety car restart then. So I did message B Rabbit and I'll get back to you what happened. So then KLC and the AlphaTauri will be leading then. Let's see how he judges this restart. Will he judge it correctly? Because I know the guys behind the top 6. Well, he'll have 5 guys behind him protecting him from the guys on the new tyres. And they don't want to be losing too much time either. So KLC had a bit of a squabble there. A bit of a wobble, sorry. And away he goes. So KLC is leading the Russian Grand Prix ahead of Civics. LH44 is the second down already on Civic, so he's dropped away. Has he been caught napping at the restart? Because we've got original Civi all over the back of him. Will he make an overtake? Nope, he's too far behind. But will anybody make an overtake down here? I don't think so. I think they will, because one of them's gone right. Tristan's gone deep into the second corner. Let's go side by side now. Look at Stinson taking advantage of him as well. So Stinson has also taken advantage of Tristan. Will he take advantage of Ryder? Yes, he will. He goes down the inside. And Ryder has the outside line, but Stinson has the inside line for the next corner. Be able to break him on those medium tyres. 2 fans retired from the session. Young Stinson goes down the inside, the side by side now. Stinson crucially must get ahead for his strategy to work. And they're going side by side still, but Tristan has the corner. He has the inside line. He goes off the track, so he might pick up a warning for that. As Ryder now tucks in behind Young Stinson. And they made their moves as quick as possible to get ahead of the driver that's not pitted. And there's a bit of a gap behind them as well, because look, JJ's quite further behind. And what's happened behind them? Because they're quite behind, aren't they, those guys behind him? I know I repeated myself, I'm sorry about that. But look at LH44, they're taking advantage of Original Civi. I think Original Civi's overtaken LH44 because he was caught napping at the restart. So Original Civi is up into 3rd place ahead of LH44. Redbird's behind him. You expect him to be struggling just a bit on those medium tyres because the softs still got their life and their performance in them. And Redbird shouldn't be doing that too much because he will oversteer out of the corner. Now go check the comments. So will anyone make an overtake down into turn 2? Oh, we've already got an overtake here. 2 fans left the session. Redbird goes down the inside of LH44 into turn... Nah, that's not acceptable. So he spins around and he will rejoin down in 11th place, 12th place. Unfortunately for him, that was just poor judgment there from LH44. Should have given the space for him. LH44 is looking decent. I agree with you on there. So let's see how KLC can manage this race then. Can he get his first podium of the season? Or his first win? We'll never know. And we've got Young Stinson, the big guns, down in 5th place and 6th place, pursuing LH44. So they're putting as much pressure on him. It's crucial for Stinson to make that move. He's on the fresher tyres. Well, he's on the better tyres than Ryder in 6th place. So he needs to make progress as much as he can to pull away from Ryder before his tyres start to drop off. As they go side by side then, into the heavy braking zone we go, but he stays ahead. Will Stinson try to outbrake him? No, he doesn't. LH44 breaks himself, but can he do a switch back on LH44? Yes, he can, he tries to. Difficult corners here. And the more he does this, the more time he loses to the top 3. Young Lights has overtaken NUF1. In fact, NUF1's got passed back Young Lights, as Original Civi's just at the fastest lap of the race. Young Stinson then all over the back of LH44. DRS is, well, that's easy because Young Lights has retired from the session. Look at Ryder taking advantage of LH44. LH44 is powerless to defend as the virtual safety car has been now deployed because of Young Lights. And AJ is down in 15th place. So I wonder what happened to AJ then, because he's left the session. I wonder what happened to AJ then, because he's all the way down in 15th place. Also known as last in this race. And Liam's got a 3-second time penalty under the VSC. So is Deal. What are they both doing down in 8th and 9th? Well, 8th. How are they getting a 3-second time penalty? Are they weaving too much? I think the virtual safety car's ending because I can see some cars picking up some speed. So Young Stinson's 5.6 seconds behind Original Civi, as the drive-through penalty has been rewarded to Original Civi. You can't speed this lap, you can't speed under the virtual safety car. And I know it sounds ridiculous me saying that, but last game you could abuse the glitch of speed under the virtual safety car, but this game they sorted that patch out and you can't speed under the virtual safety car. But Ryder is all over the back of Young Stinson then, You expect Stinson to pull away, being on those medium tyres. He's got a train behind him, which is LH44 and Carlos. Carlos on a brand new set of hards. LH44 has not pitted yet. Battle for the lead then. 5/10 is the gap between KLC and Civics, and he's not using his ERS because he's not close enough to make a move. So he's good strategy there from Civics not to use his ERS and drain it unnecessarily. And Poppy, Liam's in the pits. I think he served his drive-through penalty. I think he did serve his drive-through penalty because he's on the same set of hard tyres. So the battle for the top 3 looks tasty between KLC, Civic and Original Civi. Young Stinson is further behind. He's got Ryder for company and LH44 and Carlos. So there's multiple battles going on in different areas of the track then, in different positions. And let's see how KLC can manage this then, with Civics behind him on the same set of soft tyres. Those top 3 are going to pit lap 10 or 11 or possibly 12, depends how long they can take these soft tyres for. They'll be switching over to the medium tyres and hopefully they can push from there and gain the time back lost from Stinson and Ryder being pitted under the safety car. And we've got Carlos then on the back of LH44. This should be an easy move. Look at that, that's so easy. He didn't use his EOS to protect himself, and Stinson's locked up again. So let's see what happens to the top 2 then. Will there be an overtake this lap? Is he close enough to make an overtake this lap? Will he use his EOS? And Original Civi is coming to the pits to serve his drive-through penalty he picked up under the VSC. Shame to see really, because he's doing such a good job, and this is a long pit lane as well, so he's going to serve he's going to lose a lot of time in the pits. As Ryder says, the fastest lap of the race then. He's looking good on those hard tyres, isn't he? I expect Stinson to pull away being on those freshers. Oh, the gap for second and first. And KLC stays ahead of Civics. I see Stinson lock up quite a lot. You know what? When I was racing here, I didn't lock up. I barely locked up at all, to be honest with you. I didn't really lock up into these corners when I was racing here. It must be the different tyre, the brake pressure they're using. Because they're locking up quite a lot of these two. So Stinson's on the hunt for Civics and KLC, and they're both fighting for first and second, and Stinson picks up a 3-second time penalty. Ryder's picked up a 3-second time penalty, so with these time penalties I reckon in like there's no tomorrow. And we've got AJ's retired from the session. AJ is out of the Russian Grand Prix. That's a shame to see really. I don't know what happened to him in the early part of the race. And look at Civic then all over the back of KLC. Civics goes down the inside of KLC. Oh, that was a bad one. Apologies about that one. As Dubal's got past LH44, now they're going side by side. Oh Jesus, what's going on there? And KLC stays ahead of Civics. And Carlos is ahead of Dubal, like we said a few moments before. NUF1 has got LH44 ahead of him. I think he also pitted on the safety car, but he's got to pit again because those softs will not make it to the end of this race. Is KLC, is Civic close enough? No, he's not. There's yellow flags ahead, so we can't overtake him. And the NUF1 versus LH44, then they go side by side, heading into turn 2. And LH44 stays ahead at the moment. Got to be careful the way LH44 is moving there, because if NUF1 was alongside him, I dare say he could have put him over the wall. And you can see from the flashing lights of LH44 he's losing EOS. Look at that. Lost a lot of EOS, has LH44. I think NUF1, I dare say, I think it's safe to say he'll get him, which he does. And he's got past the McLaren driver and he demotes him into 8th place. And Dubal's got past Carlos. Didn't see that one there, but the Racing Point is back ahead of the Alpha. Ryder's hanging on to Stinson actually quite well actually, and those two are pitting. The top two are pitting for their one-stop strategy then. There comes the pits to end their soft stint. They decided not to pit under the safety car. I think track position was more crucial to them. And there is Ryder then, close to the back of young Stinson. And is he going to make an overtake down here? We'll see. Is he going to do it? No, he's not, too far back. Stinson's under a lot of pressure from Ryder then, considering he's on the hard tyres and Stinson's on the mediums. You expect Stinson to pull away, unless he's just saving. Well, he's not saving any ERS. He's used quite a lot of it. Stinson's under pressure from Ryder. Ryder's looking on fire tonight, isn't he? He's doing actually quite a good job. Is Ryder? Ryder. AJ's left the session then, he retired a couple of laps ago. The battle for the lead is still tasty between these two. I wonder, can Stinson go to the end of these tyres? I know the tyre life is good around here, but how good enough it is for Stinson, because I dare say he might have to pit again. Over 20 laps on those medium tyres he will do if he stays out. NUF1 over the back of Carlos. So Chaos, actually Original Civi's ahead of KLC. How has that happened then? Just wondering how on earth did Original Civi get past KLC? Doesn't he have a drive-through penalty? Yes, he does. He served the drive-through penalty. He didn't serve a pit stop, he served a drive-through penalty. That has hampered him a lot. He has to pit again. I got so confused. I realised he had a drive-through penalty. He served the drive-through penalty. He should have served that early because he's losing a lot of time now on those soft tyres. So that's bad luck for Original Civi, and I think he wanted to do his pit stop rather than serve a drive-through penalty. But oh, look at that. Carlos has gone wide. It's allowed NH44. NUF1, sorry, to get close and interested. Go side by side, not a place you want to go side by side because corner cutting is very strict around here, and Carlos is losing a lot of performance in the ERS system. He's barely got anything to play with, it's just practically empty right now. It's not enough to save himself on the straight, and I think LH44 will be easy prey to get ahead of him. Look at that, I don't think he can defend if he wanted to. And interestingly, NUF1 did not open his DRS, so I wonder if he's got a DRS problem. Well, he's got past him anyways, so he used his ERS to get past. I didn't see his DRS open in the flap, so I wonder if it's just me can't see it or he's actually got a DRS problem. But anyways, the battle for first place is looking rather interesting because Stinson, I don't think he can defend much longer. Stinson's under massive pressure here, and Ryder has taken the lead off of the Dutchman, and the Jamaican is ahead of the Dutchman now. Up into first place he goes, and Original Civi has pitted, and it'll be a disappointing race. I'm sure he didn't mean speed under the safety car. Tried to keep in his delta as close as possible, but probably overstepped the mark there with his delta. And this is Tristan and KLC then having a scrap for 7th place. KLC's just pitted. I don't know how long Tristan pitted, but they go side by side through turn 4 now, and KLC made the move very easily up into 7th place, and Tristan's down in 8th. We've got Civics right behind him. Can Civics make a move down here, I wonder? And he can't, has to stay behind even further. Even longer, sorry. NUF1 for sure gonna pit this well, in a few laps time because his soft tyres cannot go to the end, and Tristan will get a bit for that corner cutting. He's under a lot of pressure from the Renault behind him, and the Renault behind's got a much better exit than Tristan, and they'll go side by side. And it'll be easy move for Civics then. He's ahead of Tristan. Meanwhile, young Stinson still in the DRS range of Ryder, and Ryder's just at the fastest lap of the race. So Ryder's on good form here tonight. He doesn't have to stop again, but Stinson might have to. And Stinson does not get past as NUF1's pitted, and Stinson picks up another time penalty. Looks like he's struggling here tonight. KLC's just at the fastest lap on his medium tyres. So will Stinson have to pit? I'm intrigued to know what percentage those tyres are. The more he locks up, the more it gets worse. The more he stays behind Ryder, the more the turbulent air, the more understeer he will have and experience in this race. He'll best hope for another safety car, because I know those tyres will chop off towards the end of the race. Original Civi versus Puppy. And the Original Civi's got past Puppy up into 10th place he goes. I think he might have just corner cut it as well. And Liam's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. You can see young Stinson short shifting there to make sure he doesn't get any wheel spin. He just can't find a way past him, can he? Ryder managed to easily, but he needs to save ERS. I'm concerned about Stinson's strategy though. If there's not another safety car, I think those tyres will die towards the end of the race, and his fight with Ryder will be no more. So I wonder what Stinson's going to do then. Will he regret the move on the medium tyres? The softs can do 11 or 12 laps, can't they? The mediums can do what? I don't know. I've not tried it, but 12 laps to go. They'll do 23 laps on these medium tyres. Plus he's been in a fight with Ryder quite a lot. Plus he's locked up quite a lot as well. And he's overtaking some people. So, interesting. I wonder if he's struggling with ABS, because I've not noticed him locking up as much as he's doing, because 2019 he barely locked up, didn't he? I think he's being aggressive with the brakes here, because I barely lock up myself. We'll get off this battle and go on to the battle for 5th place then, because it looks like KLC is caught up rapidly to LH44. And this is the battle for 5th place then. KLC showing some decent pace. The car ahead of LH44 is 10 seconds up the road, so I wonder if KLC can manage to catch up to him. As we all know, Carlos was have to pit again, so this is a legit fight towards the end of the race. And a bit of ERS management needs to go on for KLC, as he gets past LH44 with an easy move, and he moves himself up into 5th place. As Ryder then, still under pressure from Stinson behind. I think Stinson's beside him, isn't he? No, he's not. Stinson just stays ahead of a bit of oversteer there from Ryder. And Stinson's too far back to make a move, but Civics has got past LH44 as well, and LH44 is not using its ERS. Look at that, he saved quite a lot of ERS, hasn't he? He needs to use it. He can't afford to be like this. He needs to use it. Scenario 7, and press and hold overtake for about 5 seconds. Look at that. Look at the ERS he has. That's a healthy ERS system right there, but he can't afford. He needs to use it, because this is what. Do you know what? I can't speak. This is what it's costing him. As Stinson gets close to Ryder again. This is why he's dropping behind KLC and Carlos, because they're draining their ERS. But meanwhile, on the other hand, LH44 has a full bag of sweets, and he's saving them all up for the right moment. Stinson's in the pits. So I did say it could be a 2-stop strategy, and it is a 2-stop strategy. So Stinson then in the pits to do his second stop, and he goes on to a brand new set of the soft tyres. So I don't think the one stop is not worked for him. Don't think he'd be happy with that one with Stinson, because he was looking to fight for the race lead there, but it'll fall a long way down. Will KLC get? I think KLC might jump him as well. KLC's doing a good job on those medium tyres. He might get ahead of LH44, or will he? He'll be close out the pits. No, it won't be. Too far away. So Stinson's dropped to 5th place then, and I don't think Ryder will pit, so I don't think he needs to worry about the undercut. I don't think Ryder needs to respond to the undercut from Ellis Young Stinson, because he doesn't have to pit again, and there's no point pitting, because if he does pit, a second, third will probably go to the end of this race. Main question is then, can Stinson get a podium? What, he's got like 8 seconds to make up on Carlos, or 10 seconds to make up on Carlos, then an extra 3 seconds to make up to get to Dewell. I'm glad Dewell's in 2nd place, because he had so much bad luck in the last race. So it's nice to see him in 2nd place. I think he retired from the session, if I remember correctly. So it's nice to see him get a podium, and Carlos as well. Carlos's pace is amazing as well. So it's nice to see them progressing through the field, and yeah, doing a better job. Look at that. There's young Stinsons all over the back of Civics. It won't be too much time before he gets past him. It should be an easy move right here, right now. And yep, he's overtaken him for 5th place. The Dutchman on course to try and overtake KLC. What, 6 lap younger tyres Stinson has towards KLC. Should be a bit easier for him to get past. All over the back of him is Stinson. Can't afford to waste any time. Tristan's got past. Well, Puppy and Tristan have a good old scrap down there. I did this side by side, but I can't really watch it because young Stinson is fighting with KLC. And Stinson's ahead of KLC then, up into 6th place he goes. 4th, sorry, I don't know why I said 6th. I dare say Ryder's got this in the bag unless he makes any mistakes. Stinson's got a yellow flag to sector 3. That's someone. Who's that? Was that LH44? No, Civics has got full wing damage, and he has to go into the pits to change that. He will not be happy because he was at a point scoring position, and he has dropped behind LH44. Stinson locking up in the unusual place. You don't really see people locking up there. It's been a quiet race, but I know the Russian Grand Prix doesn't provide much action down there. Civic then on a brand new set of tyres, catching Tristan. There he is, he's got DRS in the back of the Welshman. Civics is gaining on the man ahead of him, but can he overtake Tristan? Liam's picked up a 3-second tyre penalty. It should be easy for Civics because he's got a brand new set of soft tyres. Oh, he's spun! And he's out of the Grand Prix! The safety car's been deployed! This will be spicing things up! Wow, Civics. Wow. Got on the curb, lit up the rears, spun, in the wall he went, and that was it. Probably a bit too eager to get past Tristan. And the safety car's now been deployed. It'll be good. Oh, you know what? It'll be bad news for Stinson because the top 3 could pit. And if the top 3 don't pit, yes, he is pitted. The top 3 has pitted then, and on a brand new set of tyres. Young Stints is pitted as well. Everybody's in the pits. It's a no-brainer to pit. This should be an interesting stage towards the end of this race then. It's a chance for everybody to save their ERS and back on 100%. Yep, everybody is pitting, and it's going to be so interesting to see how this race will pan out towards the end of the race. LH44 has not pitted. I don't know why he's done that. In fact, I think he has, but it's just a game. I think yeah, he's pitted. He's pitted. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, LH44. My mistake there. But I say you can't do 20 laps on the soft tyres, otherwise you get a puncher. There is 6 laps to go of the Russian Grand Prix. Civics has left, yeah, in frustration I think, so he will not be happy with that one. The 2 Renaults are out of this Grand Prix, not scoring any points. So that's 2 Renaults and 2 Williams. Who's that in the pits? That's Liam. He's a lap down now, is Liam. So he can't lap himself. And why is he in the pits? Because I saw him go to the pits earlier on. Is it a front wing change? No, it's not. It's a brand new set of softs. But why would you do that? Why would you? It'd be better if you caught up to the safety car. But now you're behind it. So you're a lap down now. You should have stayed out, Liam. Well, we all make bad decisions, and this is the worst one he's made so far. And he's left the pit lane limiter on as well. Not turned it off. I don't think he knows he's turned it off. He's just cost himself a lap, has Liam. He needs to unlap himself. I don't think he can do that. And what was that? You know, I'm surprised no one didn't get a penalty for that. Oh yeah, safety car's gone in, but riders took it too hot in there, so safety car has now gone in and duels all over the back of him. So let's see what Stinson can do. Can he get back on the podium now, because the safety car has helped him, but the guys ahead of him on a brand new set and same age as tyres as him, so it could be a bit of a difficult challenge to try and get back up into the podium positions there. Any overtakes that have happened down into turn 2? None at all. And Trista's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. The Welshman picking up time penalties like there's no tomorrow. Oh, what about Stinson? He's going to make an overtake. Oh, that was close, wasn't it? Stinson could not make it stick there, but how hard he's going to push. He can't afford to waste so much ERS speed stuck behind the car and not be able to use it on the next ERS zone. DRS zone, sorry. Oh. What I meant to say is he can't afford to use it too much on this guy, then he won't have any left for the next 2 guys ahead of him. So he's desperate to get past him on the podium and try and get this race win. He knows the race win is right in front of him as the safety car's been deployed. For what reason? Why is the safety car been deployed? What happened? Why is... No one's crashed except Liam, who's just hit the wall after the safety car's been deployed. So a random safety car has been deployed for unknown reason. Maybe there's a fan on the track, who knows, but I don't know why a safety car is out in these times. There was nothing happened. An instant safety car without any reason has just came out. There's still debris on the track. That could be why the safety car's out. There's debris on the track, so yeah, that's the reason why the safety car's out. There's debris on the left hand side and the right hand side, so the safety car has came out for that. I'd rather not have a safety car now because there'll be no DRS towards the end of the race. I didn't see anybody crash, so I'm going to go back on my stream and try and find out why a random safety car has been deployed, because nothing happened. Safety car does not come out for no reason. So let's try and find out why a safety car has been deployed. We only had about 1 lap of racing and that was it. So I'm gonna find out why a safety car was deployed. Did someone spin for a brief moment? So I'm looking right now. Nothing happened. I'm on board with it and nothing happened. Up 27 then, as we won't get much action towards the end of the race. It's bad news for Stinson, try and get back on the podium, but at least he's recharged his ERS. The Flying Dutchman. Oh, I hope it goes in this lap. It should do. It should come in this lap. Because of the last lap after that one. The coding of this game, the safety car should come in on the penultimate lap or the lap before. Safety car is in this lap. Right then, so we await again for the second restart of the safety car, and away we go. That the debris has not been picked up by the marshals, and Ryder is away again for the second safety car restart. Has Stinson got enough straight line speed to try and overtake Carlos? He could try and go for it, you know, but I don't think he has, and I think he stays in 4th place. As NUF4 picks up a time penalty. All make their way through turn 4. Into turn 5 we go. Ryder is leading, and Liam's been disqualified. So I was debating whether someone would get disqualified from the session or not, and he gets a 3-second time penalty with it as well. So yep, his race is now over, and we've got 11 runners in this race, just like Austria 2020. Two laps to go. I don't think there'll be much action as LH44 has done 30 laps on those softs. That glitch definitely needs to be fixed. As Ryder sets the fastest lap at 32.3, so that's a good lap time from the Jamaican driver. And Stinson left the session. Stinson was out of the Grand Prix. I didn't even catch it. Well, my eyes are shocking. Didn't even catch what happened to Stinson. Puppy will be scoring a point then. The last lap of the Grand Prix then. As Ryder comes across the line to win for the second time, as Duval finishes second, KLC in third place, Carlos finishing fourth ahead of LH44, and they sort themselves out with the penalty, and that is the end of the race. LH44 got driver of the day, but I don't know who my driver of the day is, to be honest with you. So the Jamaican driver wins the Russian Grand Prix, the Frenchman in second, Carlos in third, LH44 in fifth, KLC in fifth ahead of Redbow. NUF Wally left 7th place ahead of Original Civi, Tristan in 9th ahead of Puppy, who started down in 10th place. That is it. We'll move on to the next race in round 4. We'll see you all later.